Hey, what's up, Fast Frends? We're super stoked. We finally got our first partnership with Melon hats, and it's the Mile Per Hour collection. It's such a cool hat. It's got a honeycomb bill, as you can see there, super flexible, floats like a champ in the water. All the little details on there, the inside design. And then obviously this hat I'm wearing is another one of the 3 different models they made in the Mile Per Hour collection. The Mile Per Hour collection just fits perfect with Fast Frends. Really hits home for me because my grandfather comes from racing cars, late 50s, early 60s. He helped develop the Cobra with Carroll Shelby, was the first man to race the Cobra back then. And so this hat really means a lot to me. The collection's really cool, and we're just stoked on this partnership with Melon and Fast Frends, and thanks for supporting the podcast. You can go hit the link in the description, go to Melon, pick yourself up one of these, and get to rocking it. Yo, what's up, Fast Frends? Welcome back. Episode 13 here. We got a rad little guest on our hands. Cool kid. Came here from Bali, actually, where he was born. Now he's out here in America just ripping it up on the Stark Varg. Kelana Humphrey. Welcome to the show, buddy.
What's up, guys? How are y'all doing?
Oh, what's up? Welcome.
Yeah, dude, thanks for cruising down.
Anytime, always, especially, good friend Kyle.
Yeah.
Thankful for you for what you've done, especially the early days. So, yeah, I'm stoked to be back. It's been, 5 years since I've been in this house?
5 years. Yeah, what was that? 2020. We were talking about that. Dude, 5 years flies by.
Yeah, 5 years, about, 5 times 2 inches smaller?
Yeah. Yeah, my little Grom grew up and you grew up for sure.
Yep.
Like you were kind of gromming out. Now you're, what are you, 17 now, right?
17 now, yep.
Nice. Racing the arena cross. He's got a backflip under his belt. He's got the style just coming alive. Like, you're just really doing it, dude. It's stoked. We've been like having a lot of fun just watching you grow,
Thank you.
man.
I appreciate the kind words, and yeah, just having fun with it.
Hell yeah.
How's the arena cross racing been going?
It's good. It's really like my first full series I've ever committed to. And obviously there's a lot of fast guys, especially when I combine the gas class and the electric class both. But no, it's been good. It's been a good learning experience, kind of, getting that weekend to week out feel, going to different places. It's super cool. New tracks, like just the whole experience. It's really good, and I'm having a lot of fun learning, and yeah.
Cool. Yeah, hell yeah.
That's awesome, dude. So let's rewind it back to kind of like, tell us about growing up in Bali. You were born in Bali, and you obviously, like, you kind of grew up there until how long did you live there? Until what age?
I was 10. So yeah, I grew up. I was born and raised mostly like my whole childhood in Bali. So that was super cool. My dad's obviously not a lot of people in the moto industry know, but he's a very well-known surf photographer, award-winning, really good film director, and he started Deus Ex Machina in Bali. So built this huge 2-acre compound in Indo, surfboard bays, glassing bays, custom motorcycle shop, restaurant, retail store, photo studio, sewing factory. It was just like an awesome 2-acre compound, and it was really, really cool to grow up there. Yeah,
that is rad. I actually went to Bali, I want to say in 2018.
Yeah.
And I went to the Deus place. It's in Canggu, correct?
Yep. Yeah, in Canggu.
You guys had skate ramps?
Yeah, it had, half pipe, and, it was really cool growing up there too, because, there'd be just a variety of different artists, pro surfers, pro skaters, film directors, surfboard shapers, just a bunch of different cultures, people from Japan, America, Europe, it was just a really cool environment to grow up in, and yeah, I'm super thankful for that. Didn't really touch a dirt bike. I had a dirt bike when I was 3. Didn't really touch it till I was 8. I was pretty big into skating. Really loved skating. Was a big Tom Shar fan. and yeah, surfed here and there. So yeah, I mean, I would say I grew up a little bit of a different life than your average motocross racer.
Yeah, not very many kids like hone in on their skills and learn how to ride a dirt bike on the beach.
Yeah,
Which you did.
Yeah, totally.
Are there tracks there?
So it's there's one track in the whole island at the time, and never prepped or anything. No, like never watered, prepped. It would kind of just be like show up. That's why I rode on the beach a lot too. I think it was I watched Supercross one day on TV on YouTube, and it was just like ever since then I was hooked. I was like, yo, Dad, don't we got a dirt bike? He's like, yeah, you've never ridden it. We've had it for like 5 years. I'm like, oh, well, I want to go do that. And at the time in Bali, like there's no gear, like no motorcycle shops or anything. I think I had like mud boots on and just long sleeve jeans. I think one time I rode in DC's, like just like super loose program in the beginning. But no, grew up riding. This was before I even knew there was a motocross track. We just ride in the little construction fields and in the beach, like you said. So yeah, it was definitely a different but really fun learning experience.
Is that track that you're talking about over on the Uluwatu side?
No, so that track is actually, let's see, it's the opposite way from Uluwatu. It's not there anymore. It's a hotel now, but
okay.
someone flattened it, unfortunately, which is unfortunate. But it was such a cool track. It was a track literally right on the beach. So like I remember at times like we would make like a sand section from the track, but I remember other times too showing up to practice, and it was probably high tide the night before, and there was just like sand onto the track because that's how high the tide got, and kind of like washed it up. Yeah, so
that's crazy. Do you remember what race that you watched for your very first race on YouTube?
No, but I remember it was like this was late 2014, so I think me and my dad just binge watched every single main event we could from 2013 to 2014. And I remember I was super big Ryan Dungey fan at the time. I don't know why, because this was before Dungey started winning like a lot. So I didn't hop on the bandwagon. I was a Dungey fan before that. Just want to make that clear. But no. Yeah, I don't remember what specific race it was, because first it was like an X Games freestyle motocross thing showed up. I'm like, oh, Dad, let's watch that. And it's like, you want to watch like racing? I'm like, they do that? I'm like, yeah, let's watch that. So, don't remember the specific race, but yeah.
But that season, that's cool.
Yeah. Well, that was like Villa Poto.
Yeah,
and
that was the
going at it.
Yeah, that was the Villa Poto area, and my dad was a kind of a Stu fan, because Stu would always just hang it out, and Roxon was starting to come in, and I don't know why. I always liked Dungey. He was just like always there, second, third place.
Consistent,
consistent, kind of underdog.
Mild-mannered, chill,
yeah.
Right on.
Yeah, that's rad. And then your dad, his story is pretty rad. He like from Huntington Beach, went to Bali and just like, I'm gonna stay here.
Yeah, kind of just like stayed there. Yeah, it's definitely his story is pretty cool too. He was born in Oklahoma City, lived in Oklahoma, lived in Texas, lived in California for a little bit, but never was like surfed or anything, and then moved back to Texas, and then moved to Huntington when he was like 16, I would say. Started surfing, and took a photography class, and I don't know his story too much. Don't quote me 100%, but just started going on surf trips with my godparent, Ryan Turner, and his brother Timmy Turner. Just started going on trips with them, and then one day I guess he just ended up in Bali and was just, screw it, I don't want to go back, which is pretty cool. That's a
from Oklahoma
story.
City to Bali. I've been to Oklahoma City, bro.
Yeah,
that's a big difference.
It's crazy, because like I remember I raced in Guthrie, which is 30 minutes from Oklahoma, a couple weeks ago, and it's just surreal, like how I've ended up, racing in the area my dad was born in, but I also was born in Indonesia. It's just full circle moment. It's wild.
Yeah, absolutely, dude. And then the whole Deus thing that your dad started, I mean, that's what a legendary brand.
Yeah,
what a legendary company.
Especially he was obviously he's the co-founder of Deus Ex Machina, and then started the one in Indonesia, which was the most successful one. I mean, the compound, just everything, the whole, just what he built was unreal. He was a surf director too, and the surfers he's gone and the events he's put up, it's It's pretty crazy. The dad lore is real. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's so rad. As I just remember, I mean, we stayed there for a couple weeks, and as you're passing the place, like you can just feel the vibe just passing it.
It's
like,
just this big old compound.
Yeah.
And I remember in the beginning too, Canggu, where I grew up. It obviously now it's pretty crowded, tourists and buildings everywhere and stuff. But like when I grew up, that was all just a rice paddy, and there was just a big compound. So it was pretty cool because like I don't know, it was just surreal just having a big compound. I remember going to school with my friends and be like, yeah, you wanna grab a couple burgers after school? My dad, I'm sure he could get us some burgers. So it was really, really cool.
yeah, that's awesome. The food out there is so good too.
Yeah, the food's so good, so cheap too.
Yeah.
You could get the best meal of your life for like $3.
Yeah, it's
unreal.
crazy. I went and exchanged like $50.
Dude,
and I got like $150,000 back or something. I was like, what?
Yeah,
What?
Yeah, well, the currency's a little bit different, but still, like you bring $100 down to Indo, you could probably live off that for like a month.
Oh,
yeah,
easy.
Like you could live off $10 a week.
A massage is like $6.
No,
Like it's crazy.
a good massage.
I'm going.
So then you moved 2018. I think you guys is when you made the move
2018.
back here,
Yeah, so
here.
so as I started growing and riding. There's not much racing in Indo. Probably like 5 rounds a year, and tracks were never watered or anything. Super unorganized, a little bit corrupt.
Unless it was high tide.
Yeah.
Then the track's nice.
Yep. So I started making trips out to California in 2015. Sean Leponovich, I remember my dad.
Yeah.
I remember, Sean. So Sean Leponovich, he used to have where you could come and you'd stay at his house and he'd take you to the tracks and he would have bikes and everything ready. I think my dad looked it up on Google and was just like, yep, here we go. So,
East Coast, right? Though?
no, this was in California. So this was in Riverside, off Van Buren. So,
cool.
Yeah. Nice little neighborhood. So started coming up here. And then 2017, came out here for a little bit longer. I remember Transworld used to have the Slam Fest. That's where I met Tyler Bierman, which was really rad. Always would say hi to him. Raced, and at that time too, we would stay for like a month at a time, and we'd race like every single race we could get. Like I'm talking flat track, I'm talking NGPC, Hare and Hounds, like motocross. And then 2018, we finally made a decision. It's like, all right, like we're going out to California. There's not really a future in dirt bikes in Indo. Love Indo, awesome, but decided to make the switch out here, and it was tough, because my mom's Indonesian, and my dad's American, so a lot of family that I haven't seen in a while. But no, it was a good decision. Moved to Huntington, where my dad pretty much grew up. It was close to like obviously my godparents, my cousins, and I consider my cousins. They're just really good friends, and kind of just a lot of people we know in Huntington. So moved out there, 2018. Yeah.
Nice, man. And then I want to say a couple of years probably after that or something like that, you guys decided, well, if we're going to keep pursuing this, we got to move to Temecula.
Yeah, obviously. So, Huntington is not really a good spot to live if you're a dirt bike racer. I think every track was like hour and a half away at least. Yeah. So, the commute was tough. I remember the first year I started racing nationals, like I still lived in Huntington. Made it to Loretta's, got sixth there, which was really cool. Obviously, you were there. That was a cool week, especially.
What age in class? Just real quick.
So 65s.
Okay.
So yeah, because I was I didn't start riding until I was 8.
Yeah.
So I moved in 2018 and I did nationals for my first year, 2019. And so I went to Loretta's. That was a really fun time.
I got a funny story from that.
Yeah.
And you could tell us a little bit about it, but remember, I think, what was it? Was it your front brake or something? That one moto, like your front brake, like caliper or something, or the line. And then like, it was like you were on the line and then like your mechanic ran back and I think got a new whole front brake assembly and like put it on. And then you were able to like barely.
Yeah. It was definitely gnarly, but I got 6 my first year, which was pretty good. I mean, looking back at it, like even getting it under the tent was
any
unreal.
class top 10 Loretta's,
yeah, especially like
you know how to ride.
For first year racing nationals, it wasn't bad. And then raced Supercross. Raced
Pull the mic a little closer. Cool.
Raced Supercross Futures, the national championship, which was in Vegas. It was the 2 days after Monster Cup. Got 2 national titles there, I was so pumped, especially, like I said, don't want to sound like a broken record, but first year racing nationals. So that was super cool. And I've always kind of been more of a Supercross I've been more comfy just in Indos too. Like a lot of tracks were handmade. So, steep bull corners, steep jumps, tight, sketchy. Yeah. Like you can never go off the tracks too over there, because they would get the dirt from the sides.
Oh,
so
no.
like it'd be like a 6 foot ditch if you got off the track.
No.
So it's kind of like tough blocks. So a little bit more dangerous.
The trench.
Yeah. Trenches all down to the sides of the track.
Sketchy.
So then you went back to Loretta's and next year. And
I got fourth my next year. So that was super cool. And during that time, 2020, I actually moved out to Temecula. I remember it was such a weird time because I raced Spring Nationals, broke my arm, and at that time too, I was gonna miss Freestone. And then I remember that night I broke my arm. I started hearing some things about COVID and this whole virus and everything. And next day, races were canceled and everything. I was just like, whoa! Yeah. It was like felt like the apocalypse. Like it was crazy. And then when we moved out to Temecula, we moved out to Glen Oaks Hills, so we had 5 acres of property, which it kind of worked out. Obviously, COVID was very, very unfortunate for a lot of people and families and just in general for the whole world. But yeah, moved out. We kind of just had like our own oasis for like 4 or 5 months. And everything was kind of weird, like no traffic, like racing didn't really happen. Like I had a broken arm the first month, so like I really didn't do much. But it was kind of cool, like, just got to ride trails. And then that's when we went to Twitches. Shout out Kyle. It's really what got me started. And during that time too, I can't thank Todd. He's basically my uncle. Todd from Moto Cuts, Todd Cram. When I was on 85s, like I was 11 years old, and he was the first person that really introduced me to free riding. Took me out to Beaumont for the first time. Took me out to Ritchie, Ocotillo, just all the hills and all the spots. And there wasn't really a lot of 11-year-olds that or a lot of people that would have 11-year-olds go out to the hills. Not a lot of people, or no one really wants to take an 11-year out to the hills. But Todd did, and I owe a lot to him. Like, really introduced me to free riding. Obviously, I raced a lot of different races when I moved here, like just desert, flat track, motocross, supercross, vintage, like a lot of different kinds. But Todd really introduced me to free riding, and that's a big part of my career right now. So I owe a lot to him, and
that's awesome.
I owe a lot to you too for taking that 12-year-old out to Twitch's house for the first time on a clapped out Boggin Yamaha 110.
So Kyle introduced you to that whole crew.
Yeah, really.
First time.
Yeah.
Nice.
I think really, that's pretty much when like I met all of them, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I knew Tyler from I'd always come say hi to him. I met him in 2017 at Slam Fest.
Kyle took Tyler out to the desert to kind of introduce him to everybody, right? On that trip.
In a sense. Yeah, like he Tyler got invited to go out there to Ocotillo with the Deft gloves, like Deft Family guys back in the day, and I had him on the program with Spy, and we were just hanging as buddies riding dirt bikes back in that time, but we went out there and he kind of really like met all those guys and showed them, like, and they were all like, damn, dude, this guy's got some skills. That was our first guest on Fast Frends, by the way.
Nice, yeah, TV.
Yeah. But that day was going on out at Twitches.
Yeah, so, it took me out to Twitches. I was just flabbergasted just seeing all those guys. I mean, I knew TV a little bit, but that's when I really got to know all of them. And that was a crazy day. Just like, going to Twitch's house for the first time. I was like, no way. And then pulling up and just seeing these huge doubles.
Yeah, so I come to your house. I pick you up, and I'm thinking like we're gonna go ride these jumps, right? And you grab your little hammered 110 that you had.
Yeah.
And we get there, and it's like I'm like, oh, this is kind of not just like your average chill day. Like there was a group of people.
This was a gnarly day.
And those jumps were big dog jumps, and I'm kind of like, shit, dude, I got this little freaking 12-year-old kid here on my dime, and like, he's not going to just ride around and not do these jumps. Like, he's going to figure it out. And so I'm thinking, like, I just hope, like, something doesn't happen. I don't want to, like...
Dude, I remember the first time I hit that line, too, I almost crashed bad. Endoed off that big double.
But you didn't crash.
No, I didn't crash. I didn't crash.
And then after that, you were just so smooth.
Yeah, I started getting it. Got the bike, the little carbureted Yamaha to run good enough to not bog on any of the lips.
Style was on point.
Yeah. Style was pretty cool, and I think that's when I like kind of like took off like in like that group. And I remember Jeremy McGrath reposted that video. That was awesome.
Oh yeah. On the way home, like
yeah.
I remember I sent that to him because we were helping you out with the Arma Sports stuff at the time.
Yeah. And
when you started jumping those jumps too, I was standing next to Jeremy, Twitch's wife, and Susie, and she's like watching. I'm like talking to her, and she's like, I could tell she's just like watching, and she's like, who's this little kid? Like, is he like? She could tell he was a little bit like, is he okay? I'm like, oh, this is the kid I brought here. Like, and then she's like, what? And like to see her like see you doing it all and see her excitement and how impressed she was, it was like. Yeah, it was pretty cool. Everyone was so impressed.
Yeah, there's a couple of impressed people. It was definitely like
you're just on.
I don't know. It's like I'm seeing in front of my. Yeah, I was just in front of like all my heroes.
Like hitting like BMX doubles or
big
something.
Jumps.
Like
no, bigger
jumps.
than BMX doubles. These were like big, steep, like
yeah,
like up to the ceiling. Like they were
big.
Yeah.
They were big. And then
Patrick Evans was riding a Sur-On, I think.
Yeah,
or something.
It was some.
Yeah,
I don't know what that thing was.
I don't know what that was either. But he was doing something.
Yeah, that was So yeah, it was definitely right in front of all my heroes. Like, dude, I got to do something cool. So yeah, I got a couple nice little pancakes, and then Tyler got that clip of me. And
Tyler got the clip.
Yeah, Tyler got the clip, so it's all full circle.
And then he sent it to me, and then I sent it to Jeremy and said, hey, throw this thing up. And bam, he threw it up within minutes, and that thing got quite a few hits. And anyways, that was a good time.
Yeah, so from then, really, like that's so that was actually before Loretta's, so maybe wasn't the most smartest.
It was.
Yeah, it was literally, I left to go train in Oklahoma for 2 weeks. Before Loretta's, that was the day before. So, yeah, it was definitely a fun program, and got fourth at Loretta's that year. Second year there, I was so small in an 85. I was like 4'11", 80 pounds, soaking wet. So, that was good. And then after I started hanging out with that crew too, Tyler started during COVID. I think Red Bull had some extra budget to spend, so I think that's when Tyler and Jason Baker got the idea to do Red Bull Imagination. So went out there for the first time.
Yeah, tell us about that.
Yeah, so got the opportunity to ride there.
This is Red Bull Imagination. This is
the first year. Yeah,
this
is like a pinnacle event for freeride moto. It's in the middle of Kansas, big jumps. Jason Baker built the course all 4 years. Him and his team, Dream Tracks, worked their butt off. And Jason Baker's probably one of the best, if not the best, at building jumps. They're just so perfectly smooth and transitions just like to a T. So that's what it was, pretty much like a whole week. Learning all the jumps, hitting everything, jam sessioning, and then they did a contest at the end of every one. But it really was never about the contest. It was about, everyone coming together and working together. Like, you would never see Eli Tomac, Jet Lawrence, and Chase Sexton all hang out for 1 week and ride Supercross together and just have a blast with each other. But you see that stuff in surfing, and I think that's what's it's what I kind of want to bring to Moto. And you know, you see a lot of top pro surfers go on these surf trips together and really bro down, or you see these skaters go on skate trips and film video parts together. So that's what Imagination was. And yeah, they had it for 4 years, and I went all 4. But the first one was definitely crazy. 'Cause
on an 85, right?
On small wheel 85.
Jeez.
And yeah, it was just going there was just so surreal. I mean, like, no one's ever seen anything like that before. It was truly a one of a kind. So I remember I had out this double, couldn't roll it because there was trees or whatever.
That tree gap.
So that was the second year. This was just bush in between, but
Okay.
hit the I think it was like an 80-foot double on an 85. That was 2020, so that was the first year. And yeah, that was super fun. And then the second year at Imagination, it's where I got my Red Bull helmet. So got my it was such a roller coaster. It was just a roller coaster of a year, because in the beginning of the year I tore my ACL. And that was it was really just devastating, because I didn't crash that hard at all. And I just got a gas ride for mini bikes. So I was like, yeah, let's go factory ride. Finally,
Red Bull.
starting to feel good. You know, I go on a monthly trip or a yearly trip to Florida. Got second at my first super mini national. Like, I had a lot of momentum going for me. Started hitting ramps. And yeah, tore my ACL. Got back. I think Imagination was like a month after that, and I was talking to Red Bull a little bit that whole year, and obviously the ACL injury kind of hindered that a little bit. So I was like, man, like, I don't know if I'll like get a Red Bull helmet. Like, it was just, you know, going up to Imagination, I was just like questioning a lot of things. And yeah, first day was just an afternoon session. Hit a couple pretty big jumps. Was pretty stoked on that, but from the year before, I was like, dude, like, I think I can hit this. They call it the moon booter, which is like a pretty gnarly name to begin with. And it's just this big, steep 90-foot double, and it's just like peak to peak. It's like a BMX jump, just supersized. And then that morning, so my dad and TB, like, everyone knew this was going on, and you know, everyone puts their gear at the same spot, and they swoop my helmet from me. So, like, I'm gearing up, and I'm, like, stressing out. Like, I'm freaking out. I'm like, yo, where's my helmet? I put it right here. You know, my dad's playing a little bit into the thing, so, like, he's kind of getting frustrated with me. Kelana, you should have put your helmet away, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, Dad, I did, blah, blah, blah. It's just, like, so much going on, and TV's like, I found your helmet, Kelana. I'm like, oh, thank gosh. And then, yeah, he comes out the RV. He's like, oh, I got it right here, and pulls it out, and it was a Red Bull helmet.
What?
I was like, whoa, no way, I
That's
got
how
it.
it happened.
Yeah, that's how it happened. It was such a, can't thank Steve Shear enough.
Yeah.
He was my athlete manager at the time, and it was just a roller coaster of emotions. So I was like, you know, just so much like, wow, like, I just got a Red Bull helmet, and then everyone starts hitting the moon booter, and I'm like,
Oh crap.
oh boy, I guess it's really time to show that Red Bull really gives you wings.
So a few Red Bulls.
I was like, man, I gotta hit it. I was like, Dad, you think I got it? He's like, yeah, you got it. I'm like, okay, like, here we go. So, yeah.
Did you follow someone off it, or did you just
so
hit
the
it?
thing is with Imagination, which was so tough with my mini bike years, is I had to guinea pig everything. I couldn't follow anybody off anything, because you hit it so much different from a big bike to a super mini. So I did like 2 run-ups, and to be honest, I don't really remember hitting the jump. I was so scared, I think I blocked out. like I remember going up to the lip and just clicking forward, just, yeah. Actually, I remember a little bit. I just remember being in the air. I'm just like I am so high up here. And I went a little deep too. And I think Pooh Sipes got a video of it. And the Verb guys, and then Tedesco, Teddy got a sick photo, just like of a wide, and I was so high up there. It was,
Chris Tedesco.
Yeah, Chris Tedesco.
Oh,
yeah,
he's a great photographer.
Great photographer, awesome guy. I love Teddy. Yeah, he got an awesome shot of that. So
That's awesome.
yeah, and kind of going back, just like with like how like my free ride career started. Kind of a full circle moment, really. So when I moved to Temecula, I went to Jared McNeil's house. This is after kind of Todd took me to the hills a couple times. And I hit his 45-foot freestyle ramp. First ever freestyle ramp I've ever hit. And then it's pretty cool because, you know, McNeil's the one who taught me how to flip. So I landed my first ever backflip.
Yeah. Well, before you start talking more about the backflip, I want you to explain it in this kind of way, right? Like, because for me, like when I saw you do that, I thought to myself, like, wow, dude, like there's a lot of thought process to lead you up to that point. And you've obviously been talking a lot about it.
Yep.
But I mean, take us through like the couple weeks leading into that. And then even that day, like going out, like driving to his place that day, what's going through your head. And then like when you did it, like, I just want to know that feeling, you know?
Yeah, totally.
Walk us through that.
So I think I was 2020. Anthony Rodriguez learned how to backflip, and I really wanted to do it. I got the BMX bike. He has kind of like a process you do it in. It's like do it on a trampoline, do it on a BMX bike, do it on a pit bike, do it on the super kicker, which is like a steeper ramp, which is easier for flipping into the pit. This is all to a foam pit, by the way. And then do it off this 75-foot, which is just a standard freestyle ramp. And I was just, I couldn't get it around when I was like 80 pounds. Like I could barely move a pit bike. So yeah, I've always just had it in the back of my head, like, dang, I want to flip. Like, I just need to do it.
So how long were you like kind of thinking this? Like how
this
many?
was 5 years. This was like 4 years. Worth
Years.
Just years. Like it was not something that was like a top priority, but it's just always like something like I wanted to
Lingering.
do. Yeah, exactly. So I mean, I always stayed in touch with Jared, and then like I started like when I got on the Stark, which we'll get into that. But when I got on the Stark, I'm like, okay, like I think I can start doing it. So I started hitting up Jared McNeil, started, you know, kind of just talking to him about it, and then like really I had there was no week to prepare. Like, yo, I'm gonna backflip. I think it was Friday night. It's like, yo, come out on Sunday, come to the pit. I'm like, Sunday, okay. Like, I mean, I'll be there. Like, I'm not gonna pass on the opportunity. So, went out there with a couple of my buddies, Lincoln Leverton. Leverton. I don't know how you say your last name. Link. I'm sorry.
Link.
Yeah, Link.
We know.
Yeah. Link. One of my best friends. And our buddy named Taylor. So did the whole process. You know, got the BMX good. Finally got the pit bike good. Got the
into the foam pit.
Yeah, and this is all into the foam pit.
Okay.
You know, did it on the super kicker, and then you know McNeil's like, yo, like you got it to the 75, to the foam pit. So got it first try on the 75. That was awesome. And the foam pit on the 75 is so gnarly because you're coming so quick into just a abrupt stop. So I did like 6 to the pit that day. And then I think I came a day later, I came back. I had to, I think he was busy the next day. So the day after I came back and driving there, I'm like, man, I'm like really going to try and backflip today. Like, here he goes. Like, I remember leaving my house. I'm like, dude, this is the last time I could ever leave my house. Like, this is like, I was like, I was nervous for sure. Like, I remember saying bye to my dad, and then I was like, all right, I'm gonna go now. So I did like 4 to the pit, really good. Like, just had them like I would have landed all of them the previous time I went, but they would have been sketchy. And then when I got 4 to the pit, it was just perfect. Just perfect pull.
All
everything.
4.
All
You just
4.
felt it.
Yeah, felt it. So then he has a 75 set up like literally right after his pit. And he's like, yo, you want to do an airbag? I mean, I'm like, dude, I've never hit a airbag before. Not really. Like, let's just send it to dirt. He's like, all right. So he's like, all right. The process to do it is you get 2 test jumps and then you just got to yank it. The first one, get the timing down. The second one, feel the pull. And the third one, just yank it. I'm like, all right. So hit it first, and then the second one I kind of felt the pull, and the third one I was like, well, there's no turning back now. So went off the jump, yanked it back, looked back, and I remember like for a second I'm like, whoa, like I am looking at the sky right now.
Ricky
and then all of a sudden like I came around and spotted the landing, and I landed it. I was so pumped.
Clean,
like greased it. and everyone's like celebrating. I'm like, wait, let me do another one. I gotta make sure I can do this. So
Like it wasn't a fluke.
yeah, it wasn't a fluke. So then pulled the second one out, and then after that, I was like, yeah, okay,
Got these things on lock.
Yeah, we're good.
You're all
and I
flip?
think I did like 20 that day. So
Yes.
On the start.
yeah, on the start.
On the
Awesome.
e-bike.
Yep. So yeah, I guess we can switch back gears because we kind of jumped ahead a little bit. So yeah, got my Red Bull helmet in 2021, and then 2022. I was still racing quite a bit. Doing all the amateur nationals. Went back to Daytona, do my yearly Florida trip. Got second again in 2 classes, so that was cool. Pretty big amateur race. And then I went to Loretta's that year, and that was the most prepared I've ever been to Loretta's. Like I felt so good, and I don't know, just for some reason wasn't my week. I was running third the whole moto, the first moto. 3 laps ago, my shock blew out. I absolutely wad my brains out in the sand section and got 11th.
Freaking Ken Roxon style.
Yeah, second one. I don't know. It just wasn't a good week. I think my best finish, I got 1/4, and I missed the podium by a lap. Wasn't my week at all already. So after that, went back to drawing board. Like, hey, let's just have fun. Let's race a bunch of different races. And then went back to Imagination, and before Imagination, I did like a solid month of just straight free riding, and I felt so good coming into Imagination on a mini bike that year. And yeah, that Imagination was really fun. I got to hit most of the main lines that the guys are doing on big bikes, and was really just pushing the limits on the super mini. And that year kept free riding, was getting really good, raced off road.
Yeah, speak about off road. You were the youngest at the time. I don't know if it's still, but the youngest dude to Iron Man. The San Felipe 250 Baja.
Yep. So yeah, we'll get into that. So continuing 2023, kind of free road, off road. Had fun with it, and then built a supercross track at my house, which was a lot of fun. Was riding a lot of supercross leading into 2022 into 2023. Raced arena cross. They had a super mini class at arena cross, so did 2 of those. Those were super fun. Really good learning experience. And then, so I have a really good friend. His name's Chris Gill. He kind of introduced me to pre-running in Baja. I mean, my dad's always been to Baja doing surf trips, and when he was my age. I was like, dude, I want to race San Felipe. I mean, I've pre-ran the course. Like, I think I can do it. And he's like, we should just Ironman it. I was talking to my dad about it. He's like, I was like, can I Ironman Baja? He's like, no. Like, what? No. Like, that's too dangerous. I'm not letting my 15-year-old kid out there. And I think a lot of my sponsors were pretty skeptical too, which I totally understand. Like, who sends a 15-year-old out to Baja, Mexico alone? But me and Chris got this really good buddy system going, which was like, okay, we'll both Ironman it, but we'll both ride next to each other in a cruising pace. So pre-ran the course. I was on a 450 and I was about 110 pounds, so that was a little gnarly, but it was the longest race of my life, longest 8 hours of my life, but it was a lot of fun. Had some technical issues. My battery died at one of the pit stops. So we had, luckily, the pitting system called Baja Pits.
Pits.
Yeah, they're everywhere.
I've done the Baja 1000 twice, so I know what it's like down there.
So Baja Pits had jumper cables just randomly. So jumped my bike.
Yeah, nice.
And I remember I crashed in the middle of a canyon, and I was like, oh no. But then I literally flew in the air, and as I was flying in the air, I was looking at my bike. I was like, and I literally landed kind of on my feet and literally ran and pulled the clutch in and kept the bike running. So like that was a crazy.
Oh, because the battery
was dead, so I couldn't install it. Screwed. So that was a crazy save on my part. And then Chris had a big get off. That was kind of gnarly. He continued on the race and finished that. That was a crazy crazy experience. And man, those fish tacos at the finish line felt really
Dude,
good.
how fun is Baja and how good are those tacos, dude?
Baja is a lot of
amazing.
fun. You definitely got to respect it.
You gotta respect.
You got to
it.
respect Baja. You can't. It's very, very, very gnarly. And yeah, those fish those fish tacos are unreal.
That's the best part.
Amazing,
the
yeah.
tacos.
It really proves to you, like when you're down in Baja and you're doing all that, like the especially even the 1,002, but even the 250, it's all the same stuff. But like when you're doing it, it just kind of like makes you really feel how vulnerable and fragile we are as humans,
dude.
right?
You should get lost in your thoughts, dude.
Yeah.
I remember during the race, me and Chris radioed to each other, and I would just start bugging him so much because I was so bored. Like, what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
So that was funny, but yeah, it really, really just gives you a crazy perspective on life.
So
like,
you finished the race and
finished
got
the
it all
race.
done,
Yep.
and,
Yep.
awesome.
Got my medal and
Hell yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I remember you get a little thing.
Yeah, you got a little medal. Thank you guys.
It means a lot, that medal. Though.
Yeah, that medal means a lot. Yeah, it really does.
Would you ever do it again?
I will not Iron Man it again, but I'll do it with the team. Yeah.
Like a 4-man team.
Yeah. I would love to do it with the team, but
Yeah.
Iron Man never again. It was good though. It was good. Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about the Stark, buddy. Like the
Yeah.
electric
So
bike.
kind of. It all funnels into the Stark. So after Baja, really focused on my free riding. Was kind of not really doing the amateur nationals as much. And I was filming a lot, just going to different spots. Area 52, I hit a 160-foot jump on a super mini. Just big step up, went the Cam Zink Invitational. And just kind of really focused on my free riding on the super mini because the whole plan was for me to ride super minis that whole year. But I got in a very big growth spurt so quick. And I just got a 250, so... just did a lot of free riding the beginning of the year, and then got on a 250, raced a couple amateur things, and then we were working on my video project called Glide, which was a lot of work, but it was so worth it, and just the feedback that I've got on that film and kind of just the inspiration that it's gotten to, I think, a lot of people, which is good. Really cool.
We'll throw some clips up.
Yeah, we'll throw some clips of Glide. But yeah, just was doing some crazy. Don't want to pump myself up too much, but was just doing some crazy things on a super mini that I don't think has really been done before. So did a lot of that, and then that year too, got on a big bike that summer, like full time, and then. Red Bull Imagination came around, and I'm like, dude, I don't want to do it on a 250. Like, I'm gonna be underpowered, and so got a 450. Rode it once at Paris Raceway, and went straight to Imagination. But really, that was the least. I hit the biggest jumps of my life there, and that was the least scared I've ever been, just because I was finally could ride with everyone and not guinea pig all the jumps. Like I could. It was still gnarly, like hitting all the lines that, on a 450 that I've ridden once. But it was so nice to, like, I never follow anyone off of it, but I could hear it. So, like, every time TB would hit a jump, because he hit all the big jumps first, but every time I would hear him do it, I'm like, okay, I just second year, up the lip, off 120-foot jump that you can't see the landing over some trees.
Jeremy McGrath taught me that on 2 strokes, dude. How to listen.
Yeah.
To burp, burp, burp.
Yeah.
He goes, that's how you hit that jump. I go, what? He goes, go burp, burp, burp. Just like I did that. So I go burp, and I grease it perfect. I'm like, never would think that you'd use your ears.
Exactly. So that was so nice because I remember I was trying to hear him on mini bikes, but like, I couldn't really do anything about it. That was definitely cool. I hit a lot of big jumps that week. I think surprised a lot of people. Surprised myself too. Just with hitting, just riding a 450 for the first time. So after that, went to Moto Sandbox in Florida for about 2 months. I was doing Supercross Futures the next year, 2024. Trained there and then did Futures. It was pretty tough. I'm not gonna lie. With wrenching for myself the week, driving myself to the track, training, figuring out logistics, like parts breaks. Okay, I'm going to have to go run an AEO after this. But then, okay, can I change this part? If I can't, can I figure out someone to change this part, or can I learn it myself? So it was pretty stressful doing my own program, but it was cool too, because there wasn't a lot of tracks in California, or still isn't a lot of supercross tracks in California. So I'd kind of be riding with the privateers and stuff. I still got some support from Gas, but it was definitely tough. But I'm glad I did it. It was a really good learning experience. And did futures, which was really, really cool.
Wait, the futures, where?
Supercross futures.
Where was the first one, or where did you race?
So the first round was in Anaheim 2.
A2, okay.
Yeah, A2, and that was really crazy because, my dad's from Huntington. Unfortunately, my favorite team's the Angels. But I love the Angels, so it's like my favorite baseball stadium. All my dad's friends and my family are there.
All the boys
are there. I got 9th there, which wasn't bad. I was on a big bike for 6 months, so it was not too bad. And then I did arena cross that year too. I did a couple of arena cross rounds. So literally a year after I raced arena cross on the Super Mini, I raced it in the pro class, which was pretty unreal. Racing with a lot of those guys. Made the main, which was really cool, which was super exciting. And then I actually broke my leg one of the next round of arena cross that I went to, and I still rode that night. But so did a couple more futures. Didn't do very good at one of them. Got 6th in Foxborough, which was pretty cool. Beat a couple factory kids, which was nice. And the last round at Salt Lake, I broke my arm. Unfortunately, went down in the whoops. But Salt Lake was still a good learning round. Like, I was on the board for a little bit, which was really cool. Like, during qualifying, like I could see my name in that. During that time too, I was low-key riding a Stark.
Stark Varg.
Yes, I was riding a Stark Varg, and I just fell in love with the bike. Like, I went to the hills for the first time I rode it, and that bike is so much fun, and it's brought in so much joy into riding again, and it's just.
Is it better than a gas dirt bike?
Yes.
Controversial.
I have a lot of fun on the Stark Varg.
For what you do, I
have a lot of fun on the Stark Varg. And I think before you hate on it, and, everyone's entitled to their own opinions, but you got to ride the bike first. Because when you ride, I haven't met one person that's rode the bike and be like, the
only haters have never even seen one in person. Like,
most likely.
Even just seeing one on the stand, you're like, "There's no way that sucks." Like,
there's no way that sucks.
It's so much fun. So really, just fell in love with the Stark, and after I got back, started riding the Stark a bunch, and really progressed a lot. Just with everything Supercross, learned the flip on the Stark too. But it's just like I've had so much fun just riding that bike, got the Stark, started riding it, started free riding in it, and then I filmed my latest video project, Synergy, which was in my backyard. We moved to this compound.
Different spot, but in Temecula still.
Different spot, but still in that area. Yeah. And built this just this crazy speed and style course with real Supercross whoops, rhythm sections, finish lines, 75-foot freestyle ramp, next gen 75-foot freestyle ramp, big hip jump, 80-foot double, just the craziest course ever.
What's the difference between a regular 75-foot ramp and a next gen?
So the next gen ramp is pretty much built by Levi Sherwood. Don't quote me, but I'm pretty sure it was built to double backflip, but it's pretty much a 75-foot ramp with a 3-foot extension on the top. So it's just so it gets a little bit steeper, but not much. it's not a super kicker, but it shoots you so high, like
Yeah,
so
because
high.
they were saying next gen, like X Games, and like they never explained it. They just kept saying next
Yes,
generation.
yeah,
Well, that's
yeah.
the first time I heard of what it is.
Yeah. So it's it's pretty much just it's a more fine-tuned, bigger, better,
Dials you better off
gnarlier,
the takeoff.
smoother 75-foot taller ramp. So we filmed Synergy, and that was really cool. I'm really glad how that turned out.
Yeah,
it was
cool.
a lot of work. And learned it was really cool to see how it all turned out. You know, shout out to my dad, because none of this would be possible without him and his knowledge as a director and a filmmaker, and also Jared Hardy, who is the cinematographer and the editor. He did a really good job of putting it all together, filming it. And
We'll throw some clips of that.
Yeah,
too.
yeah. He came out days before and concreted wooden poles for cable cams on his big old red. Shout out to my boy Sai. He actually lives in Oceanside. I should probably hit him up and say what's up. But he was the second cam. Cyrus Reed. And yeah, just everyone that put together. Joe and Brock Hebden just working their tails off. Aiden Meyer. Just everyone that made that project possible. It was a lot of fun, and of course, like I said, my dad. None of it would be possible without him. Just everything he's done for me, and even that project. So filmed Synergy, and started racing arena crosses too, which has been really fun. Really good learning experience.
On the Stark and the electric bike.
On the Stark, sorry. On the Stark Varg in the e-bike class, but they also have a class which is e-bikes and gas class combined.
Do you hook up with Bogle's chick or something? Like, why did he try to kill you, dude? I just saw this. I'm like, why did he do that?
It's arena cross. I don't know, man.
I think you passed him. You didn't try anything crazy, right? But you sparked his you made him see red for a second.
I mean, that's what he said on the podium.
Yeah.
I mean, I got ran off the track in the second corner. They didn't really show that much, but I was just trying to make a pass back, and
Stark on Stark crime, dude.
Yeah, it was almost like a positive and a negative battery. Just it's arena cross.
That's a Supercross champ right there.
Yeah, that's 250 East or West Supercross champ.
Bogle's a bad dude.
He had bad intentions for this kid.
I guess the young buck got the
got bucked.
Got bucked. Yeah,
whatever.
Young buck got bucked, but
you owe him one now. You can give him one now.
Bike week.
Yeah.
Bike week.
Bike week.
Here we come. Flying out tomorrow morning.
Get the clips.
Yep. But no, it's been really good and fun racing on the Stark in the e-bike class, and also racing the gas bikes too. I've had a blast, and like I said, I've felt more comfortable on the Stark this year than I have on any other bike in my life before.
Yeah, you look so comfortable, dude.
How weird is that with when the gate drops and it's just do you guys yell at each other?
Some people think it's weird. I mean, I'm always so zoned in, I never really pay attention. And when I'm racing the gas bikes, it's all the same.
It doesn't throw you off.
No, it doesn't really throw me off or anything. In the beginning, it'll throw you off with the noise and all that, but it's just.
Let's throw a little plug of some of your sponsors. I think your One Industries gear is pretty stylish.
Thank you.
Looks so good.
Yeah, I'm so stoked on everyone. One Industries. Everyone there, Mark, Pat, Frank, love the guys over there, and I'm really stoked. I was really blessed and grateful that they picked me as one of the guys to relaunch the brand, and trusted me with my vision a little bit with the brown and pink gear. Got a little bit of hate, but
I like that stuff.
Yeah, thank you. But helped got me to design that. Allowed me to do that stuff.
I called it Neapolitan.
Yeah, Neapolitan.
And I love ice cream.
Yeah. And then did a little capsule collection with them. But yeah, I love the guys at One, and I still get DMs and people come up to me this day. Oh, back in the day, I had this one gear. And,
yeah,
dude, they ran the show.
Yeah,
they were. Every team was one graphics remember?
Yeah.
If you didn't have the cool Supercross look in one industry's numbers, you were not cool.
I used to run the one gear too back in the day. They had
Exactly.
awesome
See,
sets.
everyone has one story. So I love the guys over there, and obviously the guys at Stark too. Everyone.
They seem to like the Stark because they got you. They got Trevor Stewart. They got Lincoln.
Yeah, it might be a pattern.
Who's your teammates on one? Just you, Beaumer.
Juju's my teammate. Obviously, Link's one of my best friends.
sick.
Link and Kelana, they're like family to me.
Trevor Stewart,
Wyatt Fontenot.
too.
Yep. A couple other guys.
Pretty solid little crew.
Yeah.
and then Goggles Heatwave Visual. You run?
Yep. Heatwave Visuals. Love the guys over there. Shout out Justin.
Your teammates with Deegan, dude. With Brian.
Shout out Caden, the warehouse. I don't know if he's the warehouse guy or he works at Heatwave. He always makes sure my orders are shipped out. Especially when I call him up like yesterday, like, yo, I kind of need goggles and some glasses. Do you mind shipping out to Florida like tomorrow? Like, can they be there tomorrow? It's like, yeah, I got you. So shout out to those guys at Heatwave. Yeah.
Sick.
Where's Heatwave based out of?
Put me on the spot here. I think like Central California.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's where they're based at.
Yeah. I think so. I don't know.
Central Cal.
And then you're running Bell helmets still?
No, I run Troy Lee helmets.
Troy Lee helmets.
Yes,
okay.
Troy still helps me out with helmets, and I appreciate that. Still paints them. Really good friends with Troy.
So Troy paints them, and the Troy Lee paints them, and the Troy Lee helmets. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Run those helmets. Man. Yeah. Troy's awesome. I love
He's
Troy.
awesome. Yeah.
He's like family to me. He's such a great guy.
Yeah. For sure, dude. Well, it's a good conversation with you, Jeff. Do you have any more questions for this?
I was enjoying learning about you, dude.
Thank you.
I didn't know that you were born in Bali.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Really?
And I didn't know you started so late either.
Yeah.
So you're still, how old are you right now? You're
17.
17.
Yeah. So
about to turn 18 or?
Yeah, I turned 18 late October.
So this is all all this stuff
depends
you've
who's
done
asking.
is in this.
Depends who's asking when I turn 18.
Oh, hey. All right.
No, I'm kidding.
But this whole journey has been in a compact little time and space. You're just getting going. So what do you want to be when you grow up?
You got the world ahead of you, brother.
You know what I mean? We're
just getting started.
Yeah, so this year I got a couple video projects I got lined up. They're not going to be vlogs or also action edits. They're kind of going to be like cinematic travel videos, which is going to be super cool. I'm going to some pretty cool destinations. So I'm super excited for that. I'm moving to Europe for a little bit to race the France Supercross and a couple other stuff for Stark. So
awesome.
that's a super good opportunity. I'm so grateful for that.
Yeah, the timing's perfect.
It's gonna be a good time.
Sick.
Yeah.
Have you been to Europe before?
I've been to Europe when I was like 5. So
it's the Paris Supercross is having a start class?
No, so I'm actually gonna be racing so they allow the e-bikes to race with each other. They have like rules and like limits and stuff. So I'll be racing the 250 class during the French. They have a whole Supercross series.
Cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, so that'll be fun. Yeah.
Electric against gas bike?
Yeah.
Same class? Same track,
same class.
Same time?
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah,
you're
so
blowing
250
people's
class.
minds right now.
450 class. They've been doing it. Yeah, they've been doing it for a little bit. I'm super excited for that. And the goal is to race Supercross one day. But I also want to make cool freeride edits. I still love to race all different kinds of stuff. But
dude,
I think 2024. I think my dad. I think it was then beginning of 2024. He made me pick 2. It was like, this is too much. We gotta pick 2. So I picked freeriding and Supercross.
I would love to see you keep progressing the way you are and not go live in Florida with 30 other dudes and do laps all day and try to race. You know what I mean? I want to see you in a 450 main one day, but stay on this badass path.
Thank you.
And do all your cool stuff. Be you, and don't just be cookie cutter. Just keep and you'll end up there, dude. I feel like you will.
Yeah,
you're talented, bro.
Thank you.
That's one of your big goals: to race Supercross.
Yep. That's still the dream since I was 8 years old, and still the dream now.
It's gonna happen, dude.
Yep.
You're making them all come true. Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate it, and thank you, Kyle, for your years of support. Would owe a lot to you.
Dude, you don't owe me nothing, dude.
Let's go surf. Let's go surf. Let's go surf.
Keep doing your thing and let's surf, buddy. But it
Yeah.
was awesome having you, dude.
Thank you.
And let's go eat some pulled pork sliders.
Yeah, guys, thanks for watching episode 13 of Fast Frends. It was awesome.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me, and
Peace.
subscribe to them and follow and
Subscribe, like,
donate.
all your money.
Donate all your money.
Buy the merch.
Yeah. You're on the
That's
right
what's up.
track.